Hi guys, Squirrel here. I'm back with some OMSI bus simulator, and I'm back in Vienna Route 24A. If you remember my last OMSI video, I did a 24A. It was in the other bus that you get with this. This is the NL205 M12. Beautiful, what a mouthful. The NL205 is a 2006 edition, and it's called M12 because it's a 12-meter long bus apparently. We are in Kagraner Platz, which is here, which is this bus station in Kagraner, and we're going to be taking a journey down to, now excuse my German, I think it's pronounced Neuessling. That's where we're going to be going. But I'll show you the bus first. I'll have a look on the inside. Let me turn off track IR for a minute and I'll show you around, just make things a little bit easier. So here we are, it's a bus, and there's no ticket thing, the door does work. There's no ticket entry, people just get on and either swipe their ticket or use the buses for free in Vienna. It's just the way it is. I think it's a free bus service. The window works. Squeaky window. It's beautiful. The blindfold. There's a lovely ratcheted sound to it. You may be wondering what that is. I'll show you that in a second. Let me get that back up again. I think you pull this string or something. You click that? No? I think it just does it that way. In order to start the bus, so what we need to do is make sure that you're in parking brake, which is the handle backwards. Let's get rid of the wheel a second. There's a couple of things we need to press over here. One is the master battery switch, which gives us all the power, and you'll notice the bus will then start to rise. There you go. Using the compressed air that's in the tank. This is the tank meters here. That's the water-cooled temperature. Then we need to operate the gas lever there, and then we can engage. That lovely startup sound. Such a very nice sound. That gets the bus up and running. Then you have to wait for these two lights here to switch off. They're the pressure cylinder lights. So by the time you finish faffing around, they've gone out, so I don't need to worry too much about it. Let me show you the set the temperature first. This has got air conditioning on it, so all you need to do is set the fan speed and then the temperature, which you would probably normally put somewhere in the middle, but depends on the outside temperature, which I can show you by pressing Shift Y. Climate in the bus is 11 degrees. Let's have a look. The outside temperature is 11 degrees. So what I've got the Vienna live weather on, so apparently this is what it's like in Vienna right now. It's quite nice. Down here is the fuel gauge. That's the fuel gauge there, showing plenty of fuel. 80+%. There's a whole bunch of lights. This is the important one. This is the when somebody presses the button to get off, that's the light that comes on. You'll hear a ding dong, and that's the light. It's a request to stop light. A lot of the other lights are pretty standard. That's the bus up and down, the parking brake, the fog lamps, the indicators, the oil, battery, ignition. That's the defroster on the front screen there. There's a whole bunch of other lights which don't need to concern ourselves with too much. But what we do need to do, whilst we've got the engine started, is set our route. We're going to be taking line 24, and we are at Kagraner Platz, and we're going to go down to Neuessling, and the next one is at 8:55. So Neuessling, starting at Kagraner Platz to Neuessling, 8:55, arrive 9:11. So it's not a massive journey, but it's a nice little journey, I think. I've not done the whole thing. So 8:55 gives us plenty of time, so let's lock that in. That'll displace a bus. We'll then set our terminus. 24A terminus is Neuessling. Set that. Now this is where it gets hilarious. So we come over here, right? And this is a lovely little bit of kit that I've spent quite a while trying to figure out, reading the manual. I kind of mostly get it, but it does seem to act a bit weird. So what we've got up here is 42405. What that is it corresponds to this here, the art, the line, and the curse, which is the vehicle type, which is 4 for a bus, that can't change. The line, which is line 24, remember we're on Vienna 24. And then the course, which is 5, which it got when we set the route that we wanted. It was course 5 was picked for us. In other words, you don't put these numbers in. What you do is you click that card, that locks in, and that programs the system to say we are on line 24, course 5. So if you press line there, you'll see it's already... Excuse me, let me just press that. If you press line, you'll see it's on 424 automatically. Yeah? Same with the course, it's on 5. You don't need to worry about any of that stuff. The thing you do need to worry about is what they call the ZEAL, which is the destination. It says ZEAL Fog Falsch, which basically means the destination routing is invalid. And that's what we have to set, and that is the source of great amusement. Now you may be wondering why this is flashing here. Don't worry about that for a second. So the way this works is, you can see that this is a standard numeric keypad, but it has all these buttons above it for the line and the course, and it has the ZEAL, the destination here. Don't worry about some of the other ones. The main one you need to know is that is the enter key, and that is the backstroke cancel key. So they're very important keys, enter and cancel, think of it that way. The other two important ones are these two here. This one you can use to put a comma in, and this one you can use to put an umlauted U in. Now the manual does explain the numbers that you need to punch in, but briefly, if I press ZEAL, I need to put the destination in, and the way I do that is I put in the destination, which is Neuessling, which is number 7. Remember, it's in the manual. It's right at the back of the manual, these ZEAL codes. But Neuessling is 7, then a comma, because we're going to go to Neuessling, and then say we want to come back to Kagraner Platz, which is 2. That's it. So 7, 2, and we press enter on that. And if it's all gone well, it will now show you here, it keeps alternating here, that is our current point in the map. That's where we are. If that doesn't correspond to where you are here, okay, then something's wrong. And trust me, that thing is a bit finicky. Alright? You have been warned. You know, I would have thought that I would put in 2, 7, 2 or something like. Let me show you that. Let me show you this, right? So in order to cancel that, I click the line and enter it. And we've gone back to an invalid destination again. So we click destination. Now let's say our destination is from Kagraner Platz to Neuessling, right? If you do that, it suddenly thinks we're in this invalid town. I don't know how to say that. Invalid Diestlung? Something like that. Which is complete and utter pants. Because there's no way we're here. We can't be here. We're on Route 5. You know, we can't be there. So I don't quite get that bit. I've tried it over and over again. I've tried various things. But the one that seems to work is this. We put in 7, 2. So we go from Neuessling to Kagraner Platz, and it goes... Oh yes, you're in Kagraner Platz. That'll do me. So, if that works for you, great. Minus 21 minutes is how far we are from setting off, so 21 minutes ahead of schedule, which is fine. Once that's setting the correct thing, click this button here, and that will activate the voice annunciator. And that's all you need to do. Once you set that once, that's it, just leave it. Just leave it and don't touch it, alright? A bit like what your parents say to you when you're young. Leave it, don't touch it. Then we need to press this little go box thing. That should show 2 and S. It's supposed to do that at the start and end of every journey. And that's that, basically. That's all you've got to do. Now, let me show you some buttons over here. So, this is the external lighting, the external and side lighting, which puts the lights around here. So that's what you would use in the daytime. This is the dipped headlight. That is the rear fog light. So if you put that one on, you'll see that little light come on here. We don't need those today. What we do need is this one. This puts on the internal light, not that one. That one puts on the internal lighting. There you go, it's all nice and bright in here. That one there puts on the external sign light, which is this thing, so it puts a sort of a backlight on that. So the backlight and then the internal lighting. So the way to think of it is pretty much you're always going to be pressing buttons 1, 4 and 5, yeah? 1, 4 and 5 is what you're going to need. This button here is your little light up here. It's your driver light. You don't really need it, but it's there if you want to check the money in your wallet or something like that. All these buttons here are only used if it's frosty, so the window demisters, deheaters, that kind of thing. So you don't need to worry about any of those right now. That is a preheat button for the engine. So again, if it's icy, if it's cold, you might want to think about these buttons. Coming down here, we have a under-seat fan, which you can't hear. unfortunately. It's a little fan underneath our seat, apparently. Then we've got this button, which is a fan on the roof of the bus. So I think what it is if you look up here, it's this unit here. This is obviously the aircon unit, and it must blow these fans in. So I guess if it's a warm day, you're going to want to put that on. This one is the fun one. That activates the driver's fan. It's very noisy. Sounds like a bit of WD-40 wouldn't go amiss on that. So that's kind of cool. What else have we got? You've got your blinkers, your hazard lights there. You've got your reverse light, which you can't activate unless you're in reverse. Drive, neutral, and reverse. Usual stuff. We've been through these down here. This is how you start the engine. This one, I think is the... Yeah, there you go. It's to stop the bus from kneeling. So if you kneel the bus like that, you want to raise it, you click that button there like that. You can hear the gas pressure and all the rest of it. Now, these you may have seen in my previous OMSI video. They're very similar. So what's going on here is this is the... I forgot what they call this button. It's the button that you press when you pull up, when you want to hand over control to the passengers. So when you press that blue button, let's have a look at the outside, it might make it a bit easier. On these buses, the passengers can enter from any of these entrances here. They can also exit from these two. When you press that blue button, you'll see the little sign, it's got a button on here, that's a request button. Now, the passengers stand here basically pressing that button all day long. Once you press the blue button, then the request, anybody stood outside here that's requesting to get on can then press the button and the door will open. And anybody that's inside that's requested to get off can get off because there's like a beam here. And if anybody stands in the beam, and when you press that blue button, it'll open the door. Once there's nobody breaking the beam, after about 3 or 4 seconds, the doors will close. So these two operate completely automatically. All you have to do is press that blue button, and that will release control of those doors. When you want to stop control, when you want to take control back, you press the green button. So that's it. As you pull up into a bus stop, press the blue button. People will get on and off, and then when you're ready, you press the green button, and the doors will close. They'll close automatically anyway, but that'll stop people from getting back on again. Now, except this door. This door is under your control, and it's under your control with this button here. This is 1, 2, and 3. These are the doors. So you can close the doors manually if you want to, but you very rarely need this. Just need that one. This door here, door 1, you always have to close that. So you pull up at a stop, you press the blue button, people get on and off. You then relinquish control by pressing the green button, and then when you're ready, you press door 1 to close. Once door 1 closes and all the doors are locked, you'll hear a boom boom, little bell sound, a little audible bell, and off you go. Now, there's one other thing to add to that. There's like an automated brake system. So when you press this button here, it engages the brakes automatically. And when you press this button to shut the door, and all the doors are closed, once that audible bell goes, the brakes are released. So you need to be a little bit careful. It can be useful, but it can also catch you out. You can suddenly find that the door's shut and the bus starts rolling, and you're not actually ready for that. So the alternative to that is to use the parking brake to make sure. Usual story on the the indicators here. They all work as you would expect, and there's a little washer wiper thing going on. Just here, if I can activate it. Look at that. Did you see that spray? Look at that. That is so cool. The water on the window. SCS software, take note. Alright, we want this kind of thing in Euro truck and American truck. And that's basically it. So we are 15 minutes away. I think what I'll do is I'll put the wheel back now, and we shall advance time about, say, 10 minutes or so, and then we'll let passengers on. So if we go forward to, say, 8:50, something like that. They are 4 minutes away, so I'm going to press the blue button. So all these passengers out here, they all are now allowed to get on, you see. They just let themselves on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift Y. I'm going to complain about the low temperature in your bus, okay? That's why I wanted to turn that on. So they don't like it. It's a little bit cold for them. Climate in the bus is 13, so what we'll do is we'll whack the heating up. I mean, the engine has only just warmed up, to be fair. So we'll try and raise that bus temperature a little bit. You can, if you want to recirc the air with the smog button, and also there's a front demister. These are driver controls, just like the last bus I showed you. Really, you can hear everything's whirling away. Now, while we're waiting for the passengers and the time before we set off, let me show you which way we're going by flying through a tree. We're going to be taking a course out of here, and then we're going to turn right and we loop back. If I can zoom out, we loop back down that road there into the left lane and go that way. That is the journey that we take. Keep your eye on that. That's -3, so we're due to leave in 3 minutes. And that is the NL205 in a nutshell. Quite a simple bus. Last thing I want to show you is this. So our timetable today. 24A to Neuessling, there you go. We're setting off from Kagraner Platz at 8:55. We're going via Gas and so on. Arriving in Neuessling at 9:11. And then we would wait in Neuessling. As you can see, there's a space there. 9:22 is an 11-minute gap, which is they used to space the schedule out to make sure they can absorb any late buses and that kind of thing. And then it sets off again. We won't do the return journey. We'll just do the single journey. Spent quite a bit of time showing you around the bus and so on. We'll put track IR back on in a minute. We're 2 minutes away from departure. The horn, listen to the horn. It's kind of weird. It starts off strong and then it kind of fades off in a weird way. Can you hear that? Like it goes, eh, and then it goes, You press the button down the middle. It's so cool. This is the one thing I love about OMSI, is the fact that you can click everything. It's just so cool the way you can do that. So yeah, a bit of a weird one, that one. Let's get track IR turned on here, because what I need to do, there we go. Just need to make sure that I'm nice in a forward driving position. As you can see, you can move the arrow keys around and look around like that. Okay, we're pretty much ready. We're -1 minute, -1.5 minute. I'm going to make sure I don't leave early. Einbahn. What does that mean? One way. One way is what it means, translated. To look inside the bus, see who's here. Alright, I'm actually inside somebody's head, I believe. I'm sorry about that, love. I do appear to be getting a first-person view. I can see your eyeball, look at that. A first-person view. Fantastic. I never quite understood why OMSI passengers spend a lot of time standing up. Never quite got that. In my experience of riding on buses, there's normally a fight for seats. Trains, on the other hand, seem to be a bit different. A lot of people stand up on trains, bizarrely enough, especially the commuters. Okay, half a minute. So what we do now is we press the green button. So that prevents anybody from getting on the rear doors there. They can't, they can go and press that all day long and they can't get on. That stops the door from opening. The final thing we need to do is press door 1, and that will close door 1, which is -0, so we are good to go. You'll hear the audible bell when that shuts. There you go. That means the bus is ready to leave. The brake has been released, but I've got the parking brake on, so I'll release that. And what I'll do is I'll put it into drive, and then I'll drive off. So one thing I didn't do was put it into drive. Now I'm going to stop back a little bit here, because I want to be able to see this light here. Because if you go right up to the line, you can't see this light, and you can't see that light. It's very strange. So I'm going to sit here. We'll start indicating. Thinks we're in Abfahrt, whatever that means. Something. Is Abfahrt even a station? I think it means exit or something. There's a lot of beeping going on. Some of these traffic lights can take a long time. Delay is already on 0.8 minutes. Scumbag game. Come on. Let me go. This guy here, I hope he realises I've got right of way. Because I'm bigger. Now the buses have their own traffic lights, which you need to understand. So even though that's on green there, we can't go because of this one. This is ours. It's got an A over it, which means it's about to change. But horizontal line means you can't go. Vertical line means you can go. There are a couple of other signals that you need to learn as well, because you'll find yourself driving on the tramways in Vienna. The buses and trams quite often share the same space, which means you need to understand the tram signals as well. But yeah, if it's horizontal, it's no. That's a stop request. You can see the amber light there is now lit. I'm not 100% sure what the bus limit is down here. I'm going to guess at 50k. But it could be 40. Kagraner? Okay, so I'm not going to put the parking brake on. I'm just going to press the blue button. I'll release the brake now. You see, I'm not moving. Hello, good morning. Now hopefully somebody's got off there and you'll see those doors. Oh well, no they didn't. I was going to say you'll see the doors shut automatically, but... So press the green, press the number 1 key, you'll hear the bell. And then we can drive. There's a... Look at that guy! Oh my god, look at that guy. What the heck? Let me go. Let me out. Come on, let a bus go, bro. That is awesome. Fantastic. I guess that's a guy who can't make up his mind about where he wants to go today. I'm not exactly sure what he was just saying. He announced the station and I think he was reading out the football results. I haven't got a clue. Okay, straight on. Got a few passengers. Stop. Blue button. On they get. Anybody getting off yet? There you go. See? Now, watch this. So that rear door's going to close because the sensor was not broken for a while, and the middle door closes. And that's it. Everybody has got on here. We press the green button, then the red button, and the bell will sound, and we can drive. That simple. Sorry! But I'm sure you'd rather not wipe out a person, right? You can blame him, not me. It's never the bus driver's fault. Okay, 1.5 minutes late, so I'm going to start going 50. The limit down here might even be higher, I don't know. It's not actually posted what the limit is. Little old lady crossing the road. I love the way she shuffles. Okay, there's nobody getting on. Somebody's getting off. It's you! There we go. I had to wait for that middle door to close. Aha, we've got a bus lane. Fantastic. I love the trees, look at the trees. You can see the 4 polygons.
Grenze. Umsteigen zur Linie.
That is a low bridge. Blimey. People are getting off here. It's alright, we're less than a minute late, so that's not so bad. Bus lane is ending, bizarrely enough, so I need to be in this lane, I think. Good old VW Golf. Let's put the parking brake on. What's the temperature in the bus? 17, okay, I think that's warm enough. I should be happy with that. It's the guy in the red jacket. Good morning, I can't see you, but hello. Hello! I'm just peeking around here. Hi! It's a weird driving position on this bus. You seem to be sat in a case where you can't really interact with the passengers that well. Where the heck are we going? Straight on? Brentonsley? It's a pretty major junction. Hey! Motorcyclist, you see that? In the leathers and stuff. Cool. Nice to be one of those. Oh god. I think it's a bus stop. I'm a bit... I think I've got it. Uh-oh. It's probably a bad idea. So, okay. We're having a crisis here. Why can't we reverse? Why can't we reverse? That is a bus stop. Do we have to press that? Wow, we do as well. No way. It's still not opening. Okay, this is making me very late. I'm just going to open it manually. Okay, that's not gone to plan. Is that going to close? Hello? Why won't the door close? I think the door's stuck. My door's broken. Maybe if I just do that, it'll sort itself out. There we go. Jeez. Now, we are seriously late. 3.2 minutes late, and I think it's probably going to put me down as missing that stop. That was fun, though. I learned how to reverse. You have to press that button down to get the beeper, and then it lets you reverse. Not that it's going to help my timetable. I'm beginning to wonder if that was actually a valid stop. Oh god, it's 40 miles per hour down here. Or 40 k's rather. Not to worry. Watch them all get on now and we start complaining about me being late. Morning! Okay. Not very chatty. They didn't even get on the front door. They actually got in the middle door because they didn't want to talk to me. They were like sulking. There's one thing I've learned about OMSI is every single journey something always goes wrong. Always. It will catch you out every time. Are you crossing as well, pal, or are you just kind of meeting him? Whoa! Why don't you leave it a bit later? Why don't you say, I don't know, wait for a bus to about to cross and then just step out? Why don't you do that? No. No. I was kind of thinking she was getting on, but apparently not. Yeah, we're never going to crawl back 3 minutes of lateness, given these speed limits.
Ziegelhofstraße. Umsteigen zur Linie 95B.
Wish I knew what that guy was saying. Aha, there's my twin bus coming back the other way, look. I think they're getting on. Squeaky brakes? Hello! Feel free to freak out before you get on the bus. Morgan! She's actually friendly. Makes a change. Okay. Now if you notice, there is actually a light here for buses. That's about to change now, so we'll be able to go first and then the traffic will go afterwards. The perks of being a bus driver. There you go. So that signal there is telling us to turn left effectively. In other words, veer over this way. Whoa, that's not even a road, that's like a car park. The heck?
Breitenlee, Friedhof.
Breitenlee. Straight on by the look of it. They need to put more character models in this. You keep seeing the same people over and over and over again. I can't believe the community has not released like another 50 character models. There's one thing you need variety in, its passengers. Okay, so there was no stop request. I should have paid attention to that.
Ort, Kurzstreckengrenze.
Ooh, see that outside that building then? Graffiti. I saw that. Green spray. Spray paint on the side of the wall. Breitenlee Ort. Wait for that door to close. Breitenlee Ort. Okay, I've got another couple of stops yet. Which way are we going? Schooler, that way, straight on. A Garfenbeek, did he say? What the heck does that translate to? BMW? Bit of a posh area, this one. Museum on the left then, you see it? Okay, left turn. Don't like the way the indicators don't automatically turn off. Much prefer the ones that do. Okay, right turn here somewhere. Oh, I see, we're looping around. Is this our terminus? I can't remember. Wow, those brakes are so squeaky. Uh-oh. This could be destination. I need to check the schedule a second. Brightonly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is not the way. I got lost! Lol. I'll tell you what it is, it's because earlier I was looking at different routes to take and this is one of them. And I forgot that I chose a different route. That's great. Neuessling left, we shouldn't have come this way. Should have carried on and gone that way. That's the way we should have gone. Yep. Okay, so the school is left. There's the moon. Look, shiny. I'm just trying to distract you now. 4.5 minutes late. We'll put it down to traffic, guys, if anybody asks. Why are you late, driver? Oh, traffic was terrible. It has nothing to do with me turning off into the school. Don't need to stop here, there's nobody requesting it. Let's go. Wow, this thing can fly. Look at this. We're doing 75 Ks. Having said that, the bus in front's doing the same thing. He's not messing about. Oh my life, we're going too quick. This feels like that movie now. Speed. Are we definitely going the right way? This has gone very rural. These feels like something out of Farming Sim now. Oh, he's stopping. I think we're stopping too. His brake lights are freaking out. It's a 50 zone. What's he doing? What's he doing? Is he going right? Oh wow, where does that go? Agraveg. I think this was a stop. Let me just check that. Yes. Wow, quite a few people just got off. I thought it was just the guy in the suit, but apparently not. Well, we got to see a school, okay? It made us late, but we got to see a school.
Neuessling, Endstation. Bitte alle aufsteigen.
Now that could have been something about your Neuessling, final stop, everybody get off or something like that, maybe. This is a 50 zone and I should not be doing 60. No. Hang on. Algen. No. That one. Neuessling. This is our stop. Must be final stop here. Neuessling 24A left. Sorry, I'm not your bus. I'm here. Well, that should be everybody getting off now. Yay! Okay, that's not too bad. That's like, it was absolutely fine. All the way up to the point where I got lost. And then we're a little bit late. But, yeah. That's not bad. First time we've done that journey, so... Not bad, not bad. Let's get rid of that info. But that was the NL205 to Neuessling. Hope you enjoyed the OMSI video, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Until the next one, take care. Happy bussing.